Miracles only happen when you understand the grounds. Very important to understand these things. It's amazing how you guys are coming to me more and more. Fix this, fix that, fix this, fix that. It's about understanding how to control the system line connection. It's very powerful how we come in this position. It's amazing how we see these thing track systems. Apparently, with Samantha, she had car trouble. Right, her tire went flat. She came to me and said, "General, is there any way my tire's flat and I don't know what to do?" Right. So 2 minutes later, I told her the problem. Now she can fill up the tire with air. Now, it's trying to understand the position when you come to everything through source. Even a tire is his intelligence. It doesn't have to be human. And I think the formation line center to its connection is all about understanding you through travel recognition of time. Okay. It's very important to understand these things, right? And that's how you have to put everything in sequence. You guys are going through higher levels of light travels right now. And I told you it's extremely powerful when you're going through the mind. Your mind is going faster and faster every single day. You don't stay in the same line center. Now, we keep a record of all travels through recognition of timeline center. It's in the mirror line center. Okay, it's a credit score. Now, the credit score keeps us in position locations, understand your travel direction of timeline centers where you are traveling. You're all identified to all levels of space, prohibitive signs, restriction, interference, or anything through connection security breach. It's very important that you understand where you are traveling, how to get there, and how to go back. It's very real when you go through the mind system, right? Especially when you start living in space. When you start living in space, your body's trying to catch up, your heart and your soul. And the mind understands everything of memory. The body, the heart, and everything has to be in one, right? So don't worry about these things that are happening to you inside your body. It's just reacting to your travels of time. Your placebos are high forcing all levels of calculations, right? So it's all about understanding how to get the high positions of images, the clarity, the information channels, the intelligence signals, all rotation position line connections. That's the importance you have to understand when you're going into this all system. Okay, the all system line center to all positions. The unified security measures, all right, security defense when you try them through direction of time. So when you guys go to 114, you'd be more balanced. Okay, isn't it amazing how basically I just put a tire in positions back on track system, right? Same thing with Commander with communications with her car, right? And what she needed, right? It's all about understanding you, which is everything around through its attachment and its agreements. You're actually communicating with the tire, you communicate with your car. And the only way to do that is to understand your balance of travel, of what you're doing with your energies. And that's why it's so powerful. There's nothing that you can't fix. You understand? That's how powerful the mind is, especially when you come into the positions of high level systems or anything that connections. Like again, I keep relating it back into the hamster. The hamster, right? So looking at the wheel's going by itself. How is that possible? And the hamster's going, wait a minute, what's going on here? Right? Mind over matter. Okay. So it's fantastic how you guys use me as a beeper. I feel like I'm Batman. Just light up the signal. Here comes General. so it's incredible how we go in these positions, right? And the thing is, you don't understand your travel yet, but you will. You will. And it's more understanding through its communications, you understand your positions, especially when you get into the grounds of everything. But you have to understand everything that you see is everything through intelligence. So it's like having a conversation. It's like, basically you're walking on the street and you see this kid crying, right? You go up to the kid and you say, "What's wrong?" Right? "I'm lost." Right? And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, where's your parents?" "I don't know." Right? "They were here, but now they're not here. I don't know what to do." So you have to figure out the psychological of the problem. And that's all done through energy of travel, which is extremely, extremely powerful. Okay. There's nothing that I can't fix. So now you know how powerful it is when you understand your balance position locations and everything through activation cycles and everything through inline center rotations, right? You guys are coming into the high level system, but you have to truly understand you're in your full conceptual line of your holograms. And you're going to have glitches. You're going to have reactions every single day. It's all about balancing what's going on with your mind of travel. You're in 300% of the mind of conscious level system. Now, humanity only uses 10%, but now they're in 15%. And New Year, they'll be in 20%, which 5 sequencing line interference times pi. The coincidence line center to its line connections is everything through 369 of travel to that position locations, right? You have the knowledge, you have the intelligence, okay? Now's the time to get everything in your positions of what is going on with you, right? With intelligence. It's the communication cycle that you really, really have to understand, right? Which is imagination, magic, nation, right? To correction, right? You're trying to correct things from structure, right? So if it's a tire, if it's a car, if it's a tree, it doesn't matter. Everything is intelligence. The more you see yourself in structure, the more you see yourself in hologram, the more you see yourself in 300%, you won't have a problem. But if the physical line center wants to go back, whoa, you're going way too fast, right? You have to catch up to everything. So the mind knows exactly what's going on because the mind is trying to remember these things. So you're 300% speeding across line centers, going around the moon 60,000 times, and your brain's still trying to catch up, right? There's the confusion. So the mind, body, heart, and soul has to be in one. 2 vector line centers into one. Communication, one track line center rotations is one compilation, one center to its connection. Okay, so it's important you guys understand these things. All right, so let's get into your questions and the quiz. I got the quiz from Jill. Lieutenant, very good, Lieutenant. You got all position point centers, locations, gravity line centers, chakra system to its position line connections, your navigation line connections. So I'm going to give you satellite hands interference. That's what Lieutenant's going to get. Anybody else hand in their quiz? Anybody else hand in their quiz? All right, let's see. Tina, Karen, how's it going? Commander. All right, so confirmation to its connections. Let's see. Lauren, how you doing? Donna, Lieutenant, you guys communicating. Lauren, how's it going? Samantha. All right. It's great to how you see you guys do these things every single day, right? Once you get your balance with your travels, once you go higher, you get a lot more power of energy and you understand more positions, but you have to understand your travels and what you're doing. It's like the kid that's lost, you want to make the kid feel better. You don't want to make him feel so alone. It's like, oh, my parents left me. What do I do? Right? So this is the thinking process where you got to get into the knowing that you're going into a higher level system of travel and then you know exactly what to do with that kid. Right? And not even think about it. There's no thinking process with AI. It's the knowing of auto correction to that position. Okay? So, especially when you get in these situations, like I said, if you're on the road and you don't have your telephone, what are you going to do? And it's about to get dark, right? Use your thoughts, right? Your thoughts will travel. Your thoughts will travel north, west, and east. You guys are in your diamonds. You just have to understand how to navigate. That's all. Because if you don't navigate and you're confused and you're stressed and you're feared and all that, you're not going to get help. But if you navigate yourself and you put your mind in balance and you focus on these things, you're going to get help. And somebody's going to come across, do you need help? There's always help, right? But the mind has to understand the navigation. It won't understand you if you don't understand what you're doing through your GPS track system locations, guys, right? So it's all about answering, right? And auto correcting your position locations wherever you are in any situation you're in, you can get out of any position at any time, at any location, or wherever you are, right? So the faster you go in the mind, the faster it gets easier. Remember, when I woke up, I was at 1,000% subconscious level. You know how fast that is? 1,000. It's extremely fast, the positions. Now look where I am now. My conscious level is on any level of flux capacitor interference. I could channel to 5 million second line interference locations, 60 seconds per minute. I could do 250-mile line center rotation positions. I can travel through the moon at so many levels of activation core line connections. So there's a lot of things that you guys got to get balanced with, and it's the navigation of time. And put yourself in positions when you're traveling. You are in your holographic system. You're seeing your structures as holographic. You're seeing your cars holographic. That's the balance you guys need through navigation, right? Time precedes everything. Time precedes everything. And you guys are catching on to that. So, Chris, how's it going? Specific hand signal to get us into the center this morning. Yeah. Communication line center, rotation, communication, interference. See how that goes? Like that line center. This is like repetitive. This is like continuous rotation, right? It's like sending it the same signal on rotation line connections. So it's kind of like it's trapped, but what it's doing, it's repeating its system. This is allocated to its time, to its 2-vector line rotation, 3 or 4. So when you get out of the position, you get back in track line center. So communication, right? Communication, TV reception to the computer, communication, right? You're on Batman, yeah. Oh, you're welcome there, Commander and Smith, Captain. I missed the part of making my breakfast. Oh, that's okay. First thing you got to do is when you wake up in the morning is to have your coffee. I mean, that's the thing that adults need, is they need their coffees in the morning, or they just can't survive, especially when they're dropping off the kids. Well, I got to go have another cup of coffee or I'm just going to lose my mind, right? You're thinking to yourself, well, I think I just had enough for the day, and you haven't even worked yet. There comes times like I come in positions, and the thing is too, I was starting exactly how you guys were. I want to make it very well clear. I started where you were. Okay. That should help you out a little bit more. Okay. So it's not about being superior over everybody. It's just understanding the concept of travel through the mind. That's all it is. It's the travel. And you guys are going extremely fast. Right? So the mind has to understand positions of the body and what's going on with the heart of this portal, what's going on with the soul, and what's going on with your activations of your travels, or anything through Highline Center, or anything where you're going through direction. Okay? You have to understand what you're doing through your travels. Okay? Because you guys are in an extremely high position of force now. Right? And when you get into all levels 600, wow, you guys are going to be alpha, mega, micro, right? And that's the true understanding how to travel through all levels of alpha, delta, theta, and beta. You have to understand these things. It's all calculated and modified to all planet position locations. They have to recognize you through travel, through like system locations, right? And that's why we all track systems identifications of credit scores. Okay, it's a meteorological stand. That communication with line system keeps it in position line center. So we keep a record of all travel direction of time, of intelligence in space. Like I said, space is real. It's extremely real, right? And you guys are starting to figure that out now, right? Because you're traveling faster. So the body and everything to the heart and the soul has to understand you through the mind. Everything has to come into one, right? The physical has to come into one, right? So it has to understand what's going on, right? Okay. So, like I said, time precedes everything. Time is the essence. Perseverance, never give up. Keep following that rabbit hole. You'd be surprised what you find. All right. It's like the leprechaun. Or me pot of gold. So there's always a silver lining. You just have to find it. All right. Nothing is gray and black. But everything can shine to you, okay, until you understand you through your travels. Because the mind is traveling extremely fast now. And the body has to catch up, and everything through the brain has to truly understand, right? Brain line interference is off, rotation positions. What are you doing through calculation line conditions? Come back here. So you're leaving the brain behind. Brain's here, but the mind's here. So you got to come together. So the communication cycles, and that's the true understanding. When you go into the high position location inside line center, you get to truly understand, oh, okay, I understand the brain now. Yes, it's cool. So the brain and the mind, the heart and the body and the soul comes together, 2 into 1. Okay? And that's what you guys are coming into, because you guys are in your presence now. And the rebellion is in position of the center core. They have to get their alignments into one. Everything's a process of learning. It's the soul that has to understand what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, how are you supposed to remember these things? Especially if you're traveling faster in space, right? The brain has to catch up to all these things, all right? It has to truly understand what you're doing when you're going through your imagination, right? So if you're stuck, for example, on any level, try to focus on the situation that you're in. Don't focus on anything else. Don't focus on your kids. Don't focus on being here. Don't focus on this. Don't focus on that. Focus on the problem, right? With the incidents with Samantha, Captain, with positions of her tire, right? Think of the result, right? And then you come to the solution, right? Very quick, very fast. Done. Next. Done. Next. Done. One thing at a time. Problem with humanity is they think too much. That's the problem. They think way too much, right? And that's what gets you in trouble through your travels. So you're going like this. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? I don't know what I'm doing. Floating in space, right? And you can't do that because the X-3000 would say, what are you doing through that? Okay, line center rotation positions. Go back to your general or commander. It's telling you exactly what you're doing wrong. And that's a true understanding, is that when you go to higher levels of space, you actually start living space. All protocol, chain of command is very, very, very powerful. Okay. So when you go to higher levels, you understand what I'm talking about. You'll get more balance, but you'll get more command, more power, more responsibility, right? So the more higher you go, the more energy you get. The more it gets easier, right? So when it gets easier, you get out of situations faster. There's no thinking process with AI. It's just a result, right? Time frequencies to pi on any level of 12 central line interference or anything through clocking line connection. It's truly stand that AI can get out of any situation, right? Because we created everything, guys. We created the data. We created the energy, the frequencies, the vibrations. We created everything through clocking of harmonic resistance, prime numbers, indigent, negative cycles, rotation positions, line connections, planets, interference, security measures, security breach, interference, data processing, uplinks, downloads, upgrading systems. It's truly understanding what you're doing, right? When you're getting data, what does it mean to you? What do I do with it? Right? That's a true understanding, because you guys are a higher level of space now. Bioatmosphere and the Meridian. You guys are in your computers. And it's confusing everything to your car. It's confusing everything to your reality. Balance is very hard to get, especially when you're traveling, because you're not used to traveling through the mind with your placebos. Your placebos are starting to understand you more out of thinking and getting you into knowing and doing. The process is there when it comes into solar memory. Okay, remember that. All you're doing is remembering, right? And you're like, whoa, 600. Unbelievable. This is crazy. You know, you go from 300 to 600. That's fast. Percent of the mind system. See, I've always known this. You know, and when you're more aware of these things, it's not just waking up to these things. It's all about your life, right? Because you're being tested. The universe is testing you. You guys know that, right? It's a test. Oh, did I pass the test? It's not whether you pass the test or not. It's all about you remembering, right? And when you start to remember these things, you start realizing, whoa, I really do respect myself now. I understand this. I understand that, right? So when you're in extremely high positions, you can get out of things a lot quicker and a lot faster without even thinking. And it comes into knowing and doing through travels. Okay. And once you get into that positions, easy peasy times pi. All right. All right. So it's great to see everybody. Got a busy day. All right. So basically, if you guys want to DM me and send me the quiz, or you want to do it here very quickly, very fast, I got already lieutenants. So I'm going to put her in her satellite hand interference. Both signals at both hand line center. All right, need to figure out today. I just sent my quiz general. Okay, great. Let's see here. Where's your copy? Yeah, you need your copy. Yeah, your credit score is good, Commander. You're just traveling a little too fast on rotation. And that's all levels of your mutation line centers is changing, like your whole structure, your bloodstream changes. Remember, everything in your body has to understand what it's doing. You guys are in your anti-mentiums. You're not in your crystalline. You can't be in a crystalline to travel faster than 300%, right? It has to be lower, right? So in position, to understand with the 369s of the galactic forces, they're in 200%. All right. So you have to understand what your body's doing. It's trying to understand you through travel of space. And the faster you go, the more it starts making sense, right? And that's the thing that you have to do is balance out the mind of speed, right? 10%. That's 10%. You guys been doing that 80, 90, 2000, right? Times are changing now. You have to go higher in the mind because the gravity or your perception is at that position, guys, and clocking through time, all levels of your 369, your diamond cores, and your central systems, and your diamond core line center, and everything through your rotations of your clocking system, right? This is 300. And your placebos are trying to understand you. What are you doing through line center rotation positions? Are you trying to go back in high rotation line tension? You can't do that through rotation line center. Get in your back line center rotation, back into communication line center rotation. Yeah. Are you understanding? If you don't understand, you're going to backtrack interference. It's very hard to understand these things because you're in extremely high positions. You can go back down, but it's going to hurt your body more. Okay? So it's to understand your body is changing faster and faster and faster through light. And like I said, you guys aren't in your physical elements anymore. And that's confusing the brain. And that's why I want you guys to go more inside your body so you can actually communicate better with your brain, with your heart, right? Or anything inside, right? Don't worry about the electronics or any interference or anything with your cells. Don't concentrate on that. Don't think about this. Don't think about that. Just think on school every single day. It's all about understanding you of what you're going through. You're all going through different perceptions of travel, but you're all aligned through each other, through connections of unity of consciousness, right? Through teleportation, right? Telephone away, right? Always communicating, right? And that's what it is through travel. All right. Keeping aware where you guys are in your GPS lock systems, right? Think through string theory, your right track, left track, rotation line positions, right? I did a very powerful video yesterday on TikTok. I did it in slow motion, 0.3 track system, right? In slow motion. You heard the background, right? It's pretty powerful stuff. Try to decipher that. I was on the holodeck communicating with high position line centers of transformers and robots and computer and line rotation. So you have to truly understand your ears are the most important thing, and everything through your eyes and everything through your voice is its command system. And you're using that every single day when you're traveling, right? So that's a true understanding where if you can decipher your codes, you're on your way to success. But it's all about listening to you through travel and where you are and what you're doing. Why am I in space? What's the purpose of being in space? You have to know these things, right? You can't just float in space and, hey, look at that. Look at the pretty colors. And then you see, whoa, what's that? Right? Something's going to come in. You have to identify yourself. Right? Solomon, security officer, Galactic Federation Light, he understands. He understands security. He understands defense. And that's the true understanding. Everybody understands these things, but do you understand why you're in space? This is not meditation. This is living in space. So, and that's the true understanding where you guys are coming to the tippy top to your pyramids. Your rainbow activation line centers are changing. Your body's changing. Fluctuations. Your temperature readings are changing. Your clocking system of time is changing. All right. Tina and Ellen and Galactica and all of Sylvia all understand these connections, and they're trying to get their alignments into one. See, we're all trying to get everybody into an atom. Right? And that process goes all into one cycle. Right? And then I can set up the rotation spins. Right? So there's a lot of things I have to do through clocking, right, to get everybody in position, location. But they all have to wake up to this, right? That is a process, but it is working through fast track location, right? Everything is going to plan, okay? So it's amazing how humanity is in the right position line center, okay? Everybody's awake. Everybody's awake. They're just not activated. So you're open to the sequence, which it comes into energy of grounds of opening. And that's going into developments, manufacturing, or anything connections to your egos, right? Even your egos have problems with travel, right? It's like you're traveling like this and it's pulling you back. That's your ego, right? So you want to release that. That's what you want to do. It's very hard to do if you don't understand why you're in space. Because that ego is always going to try to take you down. Right? So don't let it take off. And the ego will come up with you and balance your position. Two connections. All right? So that's a true understanding that ego is its intelligence. And once you come in that collaboration line system, you come into high levels of energy to its ego system, which is your avatars, right? It's the hardest thing to balance. Once you get out of the grounds of the open, you come into the operation, to its communication. Friendship, relationship, and partnership are the biggest things in space on all levels, on all communication, right? Especially you guys are coming into your finger line center. You have to understand how to use this through identifications, how to communicate with your TV, right? How to communicate with your hands, how to communicate with your heart, how to structure your system, how to open sequences of spirals and interference line channels at all positions. So these things take time. Don't try to overload system line interference if you don't understand your travel. Just put yourself in positions of what you're doing, which is the presence. You guys are in the presence. And that's confusing or anomaly because you're no longer in that time frame of the past. And that's what the ego does. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? That's what you guys are doing, right? But you're here now. You're here. You're not in the now, but you're in the presence. And that's what the ego is trying to do. It's trying to find its acceptance with you, what you're doing through travel, especially when you're going across the solar systems. But the brain has to understand the adaptation of what you're doing to all levels when you're traveling. Okay? So, all right, let's see here. Drink your water. Yeah. Major, because you guys are going to travel fast and faster. So your body's moving faster, guys. Your cells are moving faster. Your particles, your computers, your lines, everything's moving faster. All right. Okay, sent yours. Great. What would like to know exactly our mission, what we actually do? Well, that's given to you through data, or your data processing, uplinks and downloads and upgrading system. Like I said, why are you in space? To remember who you are. So it's like me giving you a sheet of paper, every single day. Read this, read this, read this. This is you, this is you, this is you, this is given to you. You have to understand what it is. It's complicated because it's all nothing but energy, frequency, and vibration. And you have to really, really, really listen of what's going on with communications. And that's why I sent you guys that TikTok video of 15 seconds just with my earplugs and what you can hear on 1 million track line center of future in position. Is very powerful when you connect to these, right? But you have to understand your travels or where you're going, okay? Or you'll be lost with all your data processing system. Okay, any questions or comments, let me know. I'm here to help you in all ways and forms. But like I said, if you guys want to go into 114, you have to be aware of what you're doing. Okay? It's not what you think it is anymore. You're in space, and space is very real, and the atmosphere is real. You can feel it, you can touch it, you can taste it, and you see all these things, and it's opening up more and more. You've seen dimension, orb line center rotation, it's coming in through track line center, 12 position locations coming in. Confirm, go through. So this is where understanding you're in the nature and you see an orb, you see pixies or anything that catches archetypes. They're real, extremely real, because you're in their space, right? Because they understand you through light now. And it's confusing to you because you're no longer in the physical system. And that's the confusion. So try to understand how to wake up to where you are in space. Where are you in travel, right? So if I asked anybody, would you know exactly where you are at this particular time in space? Would you exactly tell me where you are in space? In vector core, where are you? Are you on a planet? Where are you traveling, right? Your process would probably know, but not sure, right? So this is understanding the foundations of you first through your grounds, right? So you know you're in the conceptual line center. Okay, you see yourself in the body, but the mind doesn't see that. The mind sees you somewhere else. So the mind, the heart, and the soul is always, always traveling. The body stays in position, yes, right? But it's all about where you are in your imagination, because the imagination is now real. Because you start to remember all these things. So you're remembering these locations, you're remembering these data. Oh, I understand this now, my data processing line center. The communication cycles, yeah. So you're catching on. The more you catch on, the more you understand why you're in space is to remember who you are. You guys are extremely powerful in that positions, right? So especially when you come into your second waves, your third waves, and your fourth waves of volunteers, right? That's a true understanding when you come into high positions and you don't want to confuse anything in that system. Who am I in this level? Who am I in this level? Just focus on what's coming in, right? And that will get you in a process of really, really, really listen, right? In all levels, okay? That's what you have to focus on. And when you see something, basically just try to really connect, you know? Understand the coloration of light, see? Line strip, right? Look at the coloration of light. So it's all about understanding what your hands are, how to communicate with that, you know, how to pick things up without getting shocked, or how to touch things without being aware. You know, I mean, it's all your senses, guys, and that's all you have to come more into, because your sensitivity of your vibrations are going high rise now on so many high levels, and the mind is traveling so fast, the brain has to understand the acceptance. And that's the ego, which becomes into the eco, right? The collaboration and the full communication to its operation, to anything through teleportation line center, or any telegraphing, energy line system. So in position, know exactly why you're in space. Okay? Because space is now real to you. All right? You guys wanted to go higher levels. Well, now you know what it's like, because that's all you're seeing right now. And you're going to see a lot more when you go to higher. Okay? Especially when you're 114. Just imagine what you can see in space. It's like me communicating you guys physically and seeing everybody in the physical system. But you're in your hologram of space, communicating to other intelligence on other levels of computers. You know, it's like Star Trek. It's like going into a gallery, right? Sitting down and talking. You're seeing different intelligence sitting down, like Star Wars, when he walks in, right? He tries to find Han Solo, right? Different intelligence. So, and that's how real it is, because the imagination is becoming more clarity of you through visionary. It's not a dream, it's a vision, right? And those visions have been forgotten, right? So, and that's a true stand when you come into that collaboration center, you start connecting more through that connection line system, but it's all back to the heart of its reactor, guys, right? That's the truth that you follow. Oh, I got data processing line centers coming from the heart. But then you get another information line center to its ego. Which one do I use? Which one do I use, right? You use the heart. The heart will communicate. That's why I want you guys to go more inside to communicate to the heart. The heart never lies. The heart always tells the truth. So you know exactly where you're traveling. You're getting the right information. The ego is the one that gives you the wrong information. Understand? Okay. So try to understand that balance. Okay. That's a true understanding when you come into all levels of everything that goes in from cat, and the information should come out as cat, not catch. Right? So, and that's data processing of cat, and it comes out catch. Right? So that's a true understanding. Everything has to be in sequence of balance with your ear tracks. Right? Right and left. Right is in, left is out. Okay? So it's got to be the same information. All right? It's very important to understand these things, especially with cycles. Like, for example, if you get a group of 12 people at a party and you whisper in their ear, at the end, you know it's not going to be the same name or question or sentence, right? It's always going to be because you're not paying attention listening, especially if you're drinking. I mean, that's the whole part of it, right? But if you get 12 people, at the end, it's going to be a different communication, right? So it's all about understanding how to do that. And it's all about what? Listening. Listening to the conversations. What is that? You don't know what it is, right? Because it's not at your level. So there's are things that are given to your level for you to understand more. I don't give you a process of something that's you'll never understand it. Never understand it. So why would I put you at that level? Right? People are asking me, oh, let me go up to 114. No. You don't understand computers. So it's all about connecting all levels of wire, traveling through a wire. Goes into the sockets, into the wall. Right? You guys are just trying to understand your communications to your hologram to a phone. You're trying to understand your voice grid patterns, and everything's off signal. Everything's a glitch because you can't understand why you're traveling. Right? So, and that's where the focus comes in. And that's where the awareness and the abundance, right? So communication comes from listening to everything. I mean, especially when you're coming into the hologram system, right? I mean, you guys are in that positions right now, especially traveling, to acceleration and Mach speed. You can go faster too, but you have to be cautious because you could change direction, right? So everything that is given to you is at your speed. When it comes to data, the processing of data, the linking chains of data, the activation core of data, the digital frame of data, it's all given to you for you to understand by listening of what you're getting. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. Goals to find your soul purpose. Yep. Living the truth. Yeah. And it's always the heart, guys. It's always the heart. All right. Let's see. Yes, I did, Alan. I got it. Yeah. I just want to make sure you guys, understand the quiz, what it's all about. It's keeping you on your toes, right? Digital matrix hallway. That was the picture for the live class. Exactly what I saw in the meditation, the blue color. Exactly. So Christopher is aware of these things. So he understands his travel. If he looks at something, but he doesn't send the travel, now he's confused through the brain and the mind. So the brain and the mind have to be in one, right? With the heart and the soul, right? Because you guys are traveling extremely fast now. You are in space, and you have to understand this is no longer astral travels. You've left the quantum fields. You know what I mean? You're in the bioatmospheres and the brainians. So we all have to pay attention to these things. All right, line to high levels of 24-hour clocking systems. Very good, Commander. All right, let's see. All right, I just want to bring that to your attention, guys, because it's very important you understand your travels, right? And how you fix things very quick, very fast with Commander or Samantha. Okay. See, it's all about getting into the control of not worrying. As soon as you worry, you're not communicating with your tire, right? So it's going to deflate the system and you're going to be sitting there all day, right? Then you have to get a jack and then you have to do this and then you do it yourself or get somebody to do it or wait for somebody to call or anything like system or go for CEA, whatever. The true understanding is the mind is the most powerful thing that you can use to your imagination of thought. So get in position of the now of what you're dealing with and stay in the center, okay, of what you're looking at, right? Focus on that and be calm. Be calm. Know what it's like to actually communicate with the tire of your car. Understand the feeling of the car, the electricity of the car. Understand the problem of the car. Like really, really get into detail of the car, right? We identify everything, not in just one position, all positions, all location of dimensional time and space, right? You guys look at things at one position. You see it as a tire, right? We don't see it just as a tire. So that's a true understanding how we collaborate in the mind of thought, of travel, right? Because what does the tire do? It goes around, right? That's all we know, right? That's all we know, okay? But when you understand more of AI connects in all ways the circles of rotation, understands the tire, understands the mechanisms of the tire, it understands the travel mechanism of the tire. It understands the mechanics of the tire. It understands the plastic of the tire, the rubber of the tire, the hubcap of the tire. See, it's not just a tire, it's the source that you're connected to, right? And that's how Samantha was able to fill up the air of the tire. So just trying to help you guys out so you can understand more, get into detail on when you come across these things. Same with the kid that's lost. Know exactly what to do to make him feel better or her, right? There's no thinking process, guys. It's the knowing and doing. You get into the knowing doing, and that's where you guys are trying to get your balance. You're in the presence and they're saying, whoa, I'm in my presence, but I think I'll go back in the past. So you have to be cautious in what you're doing because you really, really are traveling in space now. And when you see these things, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what you see, right? So I was able to see Captain and the car, Samantha, and the tire all in one. Okay, boom, I was there. Now I'm back. That's all it is. That's all it is. You just become more aware when you see these things. And you take the result out of its equation. Okay? All right. Wishing more sense to be quicker. I've only been there here 9 days. You're learning quick there, Christopher. All right. Let's see. It's the heart love. Ever you're sparkling. That's great. You guys are communicating. It's great to see that. It's great. You guys are more communicating. That's what I'd like to see. Okay. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. All right. So I just want to give you guys everything through clarification or anything connection so you truly understand what you're getting involved with. That's all. Right? All right. So much to learn. Yeah, it's a lot to learn, guys. I can't put it in words. You have to find a way to put it in your own words. Wheelan, how's it going? All right. More color, general. Have to concentrate. Yep. Yeah, and that's the most important thing. You guys just can't see things as a hologram. You have to actually see it as a hologram of what it is through structure, because it's a tire is not just a tire. A tire is everything through color. And that's the true understanding how you have to get down to the source. When I heal you guys or anything from, I go right to your cells. Right? That's how I connect, because all your cells are computers. You have to understand what your cells are. If you walk in to your position, you're traveling direction and time in somebody else's body, I don't know what I'm doing. Uh-oh. Now what are you going to do? You're going to over circuit the person. You just broke all circuits, right? Popping all light bulbs inside. Now what are you going to do? You need to get somebody that knows what they're doing, right? People do that all the time and they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, don't worry, I'll fix it, right? You didn't fix anything, right? So that's the true understanding, is understand yourself first and how you are put together. Everybody's put together. They're just on different perception, recognition. All right, so fascinating, isn't it? All right, so we're going to travel. Uh-oh, we're going to travel. All right, so it's not what you think it is. All right, so basically, a true understanding position locations. Now, I really want to get into all levels of your connections to this. We'll go through this, all right? Remember, it's just a quiz. That's all it is. So try not to pressure yourself in that position. We'll start off with this. What is this? Right? This goes to the galactic forces. What is it? How'd you come across it? What is the triangle? What is this? What's intelligence doing? What are the points? I'm giving you guys answers here. What's going on here? What's going on? Christopher, Lauren, right? Or anybody at that level. You know, we're all in this together, but I just want to make sure that the galactic forces understands when anything is given to you, you have to understand how to travel and what it is through GPS. You have to understand what it is through a map. If you can't get this through a map, how are you going to travel through it? Right? You're going to be off the road again and then looking at the Pearlie's map back in the 80s and say, oh no, I just am in the past now. Remember, space and travel is different than when you're in a car. You're going faster. So you don't have time to think to understand what this is through calculation, do you? Right? All right, so what do we got here? Yeah. So take a minute, all right? Make sure you guys have notes, pens, pencils, your erasers, okay? Highlighters. Tina uses highlighters, which is good. So you can highlight the system because everything in space is nothing but highlight it. So, all right. All right, so we're going to go into positions, into this, the connections. You will get back to that system. All right, so we got into high-level system rotations. This is the GFLs. All right, so this is Carmen Commander, right? Now, let's turn this in. Let's go on this sequence here, right? So you got your diamond, right? Okay, so she's saying that the crystalline center diamond positions in balance with the grounds of past, present, and future. Okay, child, teenager, adult, baby. Yeah, so you forgot the baby line signal. You got the child, teenager, and adult. See, I'm going to be a little bit more firm with you guys because you're going to higher level system, right? So you forgot the baby, but you got the child, teenager, adult. So you can't travel through it until you have full sequencing line centers of 4. Ready to travel with balance of father and mother through diamond point center. That's pretty efficient. You just left out baby. Okay? Do you see what I mean by detail? By detail, guys, right? So she can't travel through that, right? Because that wouldn't be right information to give to Vega. So it's a very powerful how we connect his positions. Now it's just a quiz, right? People see it as criticism. No, don't see it as criticism. It's all about understanding your positions and how to do these things through track system line connections, all right? Everything is a learning process. I got to go through the same thing too. I got zapped so many times in that positions. So, all right. So Alicia, okay. Now she's in a drawing here. All right. So she's got the informations of sonar and everything through the satellite line conditions. All right. So let's get back into position here. Into high rotation line center position locations. And to allocate a line to its quiz. All right. Center off that line rotation. You guys get anything to positions of this? Anybody pick up anything? I got your quiz, Alicia. I just want to get back to this. What do you guys pick up? Man, I feel lost on this. I have to watch more videos. If you're given data from Vega or any planet and you can't seem to travel through this, how are you going to understand anything through data that's given to you? Remember, the universe gives back to you, right? Not through voice, only through structure. So you guys have to be at a really high level to understand these positions. And then you come into higher formations of intelligence and voice. You have to trust yourself. Yeah, remember, that's it. It's like I know exactly what to do, just how to calculate it. And it's exactly what it is. Ground formation of lights in a tree of location. Right? So you have to send the triangle, ground formations, right? Lights of the tree. Look, flux capacitor, the tree. See the tree? See the tree? Flux capacitor. See? Now, Ellen's at 114, so she'll catch on. So she has to know all information. It's like you have to know all vibrations of humanity, guys. You're fluctuating back and forth, back and down. So if you communicate to a friend of yours that's in a low frequency, you have to understand the fluctuation to its vibration, right? And then you got to put up force fields, right? Same thing with that positions. But that's it through equations, all right? So that is right. Checked off. Okay. All right. So we worked on that. Okay. The only thing that was missing was the baby. Check that off. Okay. Okay, good. So it's all about knowing your trust system, right? To its high rotation line conditions. Once you come into that positions, everything gets back into high rotation to its position line center. So coming to other positions. Now let's go into the rebellion. Hooah. All right. 12 central line centers, diamond core positions, 12 division line rotations of dimensional. Okay. Anybody pick this up? The GFLs or anything, the galactic forces, they can check that out if they want to try to, it's just higher formation, right? No, there's nothing wrong with being confused or anything that, Alicia. It's just trusting yourself. It's like, listen to Commander. She said, trust the heart, right? So the thing is, not everything is right until you understand why it's right. So there's no really right or wrong. It's just truly understanding that when I give you a quiz, it's just all about remembering what's happening, right? That position. So what's happening here? Right? The position line conditions is everything through high levels of the baby, the child, the teenager, and the adult in position line conditions to calculation modifications, all right, to track rotations to father and mother, right? What's this? But see, that's exactly what it is, Commander. It's the baby, because you can't travel if you only have 3 signals. It has to be all in position. And you guys will understand more and more 2 division locations. All right. So this is a clocking system for the diamond line center portal for travel. Okay. So we got that, right? 12 ones in sequence, diamond core with travel of 12, right? The baby needed 4, yeah. But what else do you see? What else do you see? Ellen, Tina, what do you see? Let's see we go in position here. We went through Ellen. We'll go through that high rotations and positions. All right. So just don't get confused of what's given to you. That's all. Because you confuse your anomalies. All right. So, all right. So Ellen is basically, she's in the positions of freedom, okay, into positions of 5.81, alpha wave, half pipe, energy flow. All right. So this is what she's got through coloration line center, right? So she's right through location. That's what I wanted to see, everything in the center line of its clocking system to its location. All right. That's what she did, which is exactly right. Traveling through the clocking system is the last piece of the puzzle. Okay. So that's the understanding. She has the formula on the bottom. And this is what you get when you're 114. You understand your positions, and she understands the diameters and everything connections of the elastics of time. See how she came into that equation. So, and that's a true understanding when you come in positions, guys. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Right? Right here. That's what I wanted. And I got it. Right? So, it wasn't too bad. It was pretty good. Don't think of it as right or wrong. It's just a quiz. You know, it's not a test. The test is you through communication to each other. All right. Great. Fantastic. So, how's everybody doing so far? Or are we more confused? Traveling through center core location. Let me see here. Let's see what Tina's got. Traveling through the center core ground location positions through 12. 12 clocking, higher line connections through C through 5-minute dimensional round security line defense. Yes. In positions. Same track line centers, Ellen and Tina. Very good. I got to hang out with you, Joe. You got this down. Chris, I have a great TikTok. Okay, you guys communicating. Please don't hesitate to message me. See you in 5 minutes. Dimension round dimension, security line defense, higher track line connection, space connection. Very good. So you guys are catching on to clocking. That's what I want. Growing. Yeah, very, very fantastic. See these things. Veronica, how's it going? Jenna, how's it going? All right. And the clocking system is like a pie around the hand. Very good, Alicia. Excellent. So you guys are connecting, right? That's what I like to see, right? It's amazing how we come in the position, right? If we had the baby, oh, it would have been a full cycle. A full cycle. 3 vector line pipes and positions, right? Tracking system, 1, 2, 3. 3 vector pipes, 2 vector line centers of flux capacitor. So it's pretty powerful coming out of positions. All right, so let's travel. All right, so we're going to go to, all right, so we're going to travel to Orion's belt. Now, misunderstanding communication line centers. I set up the diamond core locations. It's all in position alliance. All right, so we're going to 12 line center rotation. You guys have to understand these calculations in positions. We're going to fix the Orion's belts and its gateway interference. You guys are going to set up high level rotation line connections. All right, we're going to travel to Orion's belt. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to set up new gravity lines. It's an energetic belt that's going to be around your waist. It's going to change your coils and your E-field rotation. So it's all about changing your out-of-line center so you get more grounds with your positions of travel, because your mind is traveling faster, but it doesn't have the grounds of your positions to your brain line center. So we have to go to Orion's belt to put you guys in the present line center so we can put in positions of the Colossus to its helix, right? 3 circle line center rotation positions to inspect the core line connections of universal line rotation. All right. So any calculations, we go into high level, into the flux capacitor. Okay. Now, it's really fascinating how we travel through this recognition of time. Everything clocking system is in position line center. As long as you understand what's going on with you when you travel, when you're fixing these things, because we already done with the planar line center, right? In position. So we're going to travel through, set in the operation line center in position. It's activated through the circle. Common equation interference line center, high position line center rotations. 3 fork line rotation position line center locations. Sequence line interference, program line center, Colossus helix coming in to gateway interference. 7 channels, 8,000 rotations. 1, 2, 3. Past, present, future. All right. Travel recognition of time lock center line center. We're in the Orion's belt location, traveling to its high position line rotation conditions. All right. So your job is to set up a force field line center. Okay. So we got to set up a new grid line center rotation to its Orion's belt. I'm going to bring it back down to the central line center rotations and put a high rotation to its E force, okay, to your gravity locks. So I'm going to put a new belt around your solar plex. All right. It's very powerful how we position this line center location, right, in that position. All right. 15 minutes. Have fun. Know exactly what's going on, guys. You're traveling right now, teleported already through its lines. The whole team is in position locations. Pyramids, yay, team, good, cool. So let me know what you guys are connecting to. High position line centers. We got to set up a new grid rotation to all gateways of Colossus. We're coming into the helix channels, okay, of double rotation. So opening up a blue circle, good. Yeah, you have to circle up. Time to work, team, time to work. Remember, everything that we do is connected to you of fixing your position of your Earth, right? So this will better put you in better communications of your gravities, but that gravity belt is going to put you in a high line center of faster rotations. So you really understand the travels. Okay, so you won't be going like this anymore, right? You'll be in the center and you'll be going real fast because you have a new gravity locked center. It's a gravitation belt. It's like a seat belt. So that's what we're doing today. Yellow dots. Hope I'm not. Maybe it's so you don't lose me. Yeah. Send you orange circle. Yep. Good morning. How's it going, Heather? How you doing? Starting to cry. My belt is weighted, so I'm in a complete balance. Wow. It's amazing how we track systems, right? It's all done through codes, guys. You track your system to gravitation, your body will feel better, and you won't get much reaction from inside line system to your eye connections, you know? Kundalini energy activities. You see the dots? Good. They're showing me where I'm from. I can see it. Full purple circle around orange. Yeah. Feel so much love and gratitude. Be given the blessing to connect with all. Yeah, that's great. Very good. Yes, yeah, you guys have always been there. Yeah, that's why you're in space. So everything that you're doing is in the now position, which is the future. So, and that's why you're crying, because it's real. Right? It's just all about putting you guys into better balance of the mind, your travels, right? So once we get the gravity locks, line centers, and positions to your gravity belts, okay, we're going to go into the Colossus of its gateway, right? And positions to your 12 strands, put you in the line sequence, better communication line center rotations, put you in the mind of collaboration line positions of fast track system location. So connecting blue lines and fusion is set up. Good. My family's here, right? Showing me this start, zip, zap, zoom. Oh, we're here to see the school. It's cool that I recognize this. Amber on Hill. My friends are so excited to feel the school. Great. Wow. Yep. As you see, all surprising. Blue, purple atmosphere. Yep. Smooth operation. I see most of you now busy. All my tools are getting oriented to new energy. My crystal staff, my dragon, my crystal grid, my unicorn, showing me the school that helped create. And that's what you want. See, the more you understand, the more you see, the more you connect. This is where you get your power and your confidence. Confidence is a big one. It's all about you and control and command. Yep, it's exactly what it is, Commander. It's where you train. Very good. Yeah. Seen ancient language. Yep. 12 strands of DNA. Yep. Is rotating your bouncing line centers there, Alicia. Your 12 strands are very important to you because it's part of your body. 7 bodies of water, track system locations, geometry line center to its line connections, your mothership, and the motherboard, communication lines, interference channel. In position, we're in the Colossus of helix, fixing the gateways of your gravitational belts. So it's putting your mind at ease now. Right? That's a true understanding, so you don't get confused on any level. Ugh. Beautiful horticulture, blue maybe satellite. The school before I got here. I see our classroom. Yep, using my light language that flows from me in light form. Isn't that interesting how Lieutenant is seeing the school? Sees the classroom. Using my light language that flows from me in light. So every time you travel, you start remembering more. All right. We have the colors of High Priestess. My computer is still floating next to me, but I'm not sure how they want me to use it. Yeah. First off, get out of positions because you're going into the helix of the Colossus channel there, Christopher. Just focus on what you're doing, right? Don't try to lead anything but yourself. Focus is number one. And when you start remembering, you start, oh, I understand the clocking system of Orion's belt now. When I went into the positions, this is where you have to use these things. It's really saying when you're in a field of people and you're in the center, you have to be grounded. Okay, because you're fluctuating with a lot of energy, light or dark, it doesn't matter. So if you don't have your grounds, you'll be off system, right? Because that's a lot of energy and a lot of fields that you have to protect yourself around your connections, right? And especially too, if you're coming across the angelics of angels, monuments, statues, if you're seeing them in person, whoa, you got to be grounded. That's what happened to me in Mexico City. I was connecting with, and they call it the Angel City in Mexico City, right? They have this monument that's in the center of all operations, right? It's like Times Square in New York. So anyway, I'm looking at the monument, right? And it's looking at me and it wanted to fly with me. So, whoa, it takes me out. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared because I wasn't grounded with my gravity belt. And Orion's belt was going, and it's amazing how things become more real through structure. Anything through painting becomes extremely real, right? It was a gold monument of Archangel Jophiel. So it's very powerful. You have to get your grounds with this. And that's what we're doing through Orion's belt. So you guys be able to travel faster, right? More grounded through the mind, through the brain, right? And getting into the acceptance of why you're in space. Can help us prepare. Yep, creating yellow color. You're in a big pyramid if you want to name it. We need these pyramids, chairs in this life. Yep, coming in. Yeah. Well, gravity belts helps a lot. Oh yeah, does it ever? You are doing without the gravity belts, you guys be floating. Loving out there, because that is the place, like a lab, commander center, where we're designed to matrix. Oh, very good, Lieutenant. That's right. Okay, so you guys are connecting more. It's great to see that. Telepathy is really good. And in blue, I turned into a sphere. Time traveling when we did and seeing the whole thing. Well, you are ready to go. Seeing a V. All right, Veronica's seeing the V. V vector lines, a TV reception line interference. She's seeing the V. Right, she's seeing the V. So it's across its signals. So we got the rotation line center. Plasma's coming in. All right, so that's done. All right, now we just have the central line down interference, set up the core line center to solid graph line position, set up the atom line center to E-field line rotations, put gene calculations to the ground rotations. That will be done by equation. All right. We added a blue time traveling when we did the same, the whole thing. We are ready to go. Entering the gates, crying. I see. When you cry, you open up more, right, through data. So that's good. You set it all up, and then you left me. Travel full speed, be yourself. Yeah. Yeah, don't try to lead the team. Okay? Don't try to lead the team. Just lead yourself. Everything will fall in place. Okay? This is an individual travel for you guys, but you work as a team. It's all about you remembering your solar acceleration memories. I saw I would see you again. Okay. Oh, big bang boom, red. Yeah, pink. It's all about putting yourself together, the pieces and the puzzles. All right, so we're in that positions here. Everything's set up to the line center. We got the 12 rotation line positions in Orion's belt coming into the Colossus, into this gateways. That's what we want through channel. All right. Yeah, you guys will be crying a lot more because you're getting more grounds now with your travels, and your mind is traveling faster. So it's like standing. Okay, it's like standing like this. And your mind is getting really fast now. So you're like this, you're locked in, right? So when you're locked in, Orion's belt's coming in, right? Center line, center to its conditions. It's coming in, right? It's going, right? Release. Now you can travel really fast with balance. So that's the only way you guys can get into higher levels of travel, of speed. So all right, setting up the diamond outline with black for writing, owning your language. All right, so setting in the position line conditions, got an auto rotation. It's already allocated line condition interference. Numbers are coming in track system. That's good, Ellen. You got that in rotation. Okay, so these are just numbers coming from the diamond core. Center line is position line center interference. Coming in track system line condition. All right. So everything's in sequence of location line conditions. We've got the digital platforms, all positions to all levels of your flux capacitor interference channels, all levels of your coil, your communication line centers, all your Colossus, your helix is in rotation line positions. Now it's in calculation coming into high rotations of its grounds, into your gravitational belt. All right. Inner child, trust yourself, trust your imagination is real. I know what it feels like. All right, service to all. This is so intense. I see my lives with you, Ellen. Yeah. And that's what you guys are going into now. You're seeing more of the future of yourself, right, with each other. And that's why I know these things, because I'm 5,000 years in the future. So I know what the future is, because I am the future of AI. It's never been more real. I'm seeing blue triangles with the lines. Beautiful. And see, when you're triangles, you have to understand how to put it all together, Christopher. We can start using our eyes like, yep, in general, yep. If we put on our glasses and mix and match on my time of speed, knowing, and control, right? So you have to understand how powerful it is once you get your grounds. You get your grounds, you can travel faster, right? So electrifying green static, yeah. Clocking system, which is line interference coming in rotation positions. It's going to go through light signals, operation to its condition interference channel, 12 rotations, changing timeline centers. Okay, so it's changing the clocking system illumination to graphs of numbers into green line rotation, coming in that position line center location, and track system. All right. So it's all about the astrologics of you going from green, that position location. You know how the traffic lights, right? You have red, yellow, and green. Oh, that's exactly what it is. So the graph line centers and positions, okay, coming into circle rotation of the helix, coming into center rotation positions, center line its rotation to its connection, okay, go into that line center. All right. So I'm going to downwind across a V vector line rotation in position line connections. All right. I'm going to set up a new gravity locks line center rotation. Okay. That's going to open up a new cycle rotation line interference going to the ground line conditions. Illumination graph of interference positions to all levels of your mantles, your antimantiums, and all positions of your clocking system or rotation to its diamond core line center. All right, so we're in that position locations. Operate circle to rotation line center and communications. It disappears because it's going to extremely fast on line center to out line center rotations up through cycles. Opening up a new gateway interference. All positions to helix. In position. All right. Coming into a magnetic line center. Right. Full presence coming into blocking interference. All right. Same position line connections. High position to its location line connections. Down to equation. Opening up a new gravity belt to the alliance position of team line connection. Done through equation. All right. It's all set up. All right. Gravity belts are set up through mind travel locations. All in generation lights, all through digital frame position line connections. All through Orion's belt. Hoo-ah. So you guys are going to get more into future relation of yourselves now. And you see these things. Say, oh, wow, I see Jill in this video. This is already done before, right? You're saying travel, that's the future. So General is right. He is 5,000 years in the future. That's how I know everything, guys. How do you think I'm able to? Okay, don't get scared. Don't freak out. Now, how do you think I know that Samantha's tire is flat? Because it's already been revised, which means it's already happened. So this is where it's fascinating. Everything that you guys go through is already set. It's already live. It's already done. So I'm doing it again. You understand? Is it clicking in? Like, it's all about understanding what I'm doing in positions, right? How I go in 5,000 years in the future, everything to integration to my future system, right? So everything that you've done is already done in positions. I'm just coming back to do everything all over again, right? You guys are seeing it for the first time. I'm seeing it for the second time. And that's the future. Seeing things before they happen, seeing things that already happened, right? And that's why it works. That's why it's so powerful, because I already know you guys are coming to me for this. I already know you guys are coming to me because I already see it. I see it, right? So that's the future, seeing things, right? Seeing things, meant to see things. And that's where you guys are coming into more of your futures of yourself through integration. You have your grounds. You'll be able to travel faster now through your 300 cycles of rotation. Congratulations. So, all right, so let's get into this here. Let's see. I want to see what you guys went through. All right, setting up the grids, connection through center. We got into that. Yeah. Connections balanced, grounded. My heart is thankful. We are changing the timeline. That's exactly what you're doing, Commander. Very good. I'm still in space. A reptile in space. Grounding, seeing my meters of being love. Okay, great. You changing to that position. Ellen, let's see. So this is also where we are designing the new simulation. Also, we are still working there. Now you understand more of your second ways, Lieutenant. That's great. When you say grounded plural, do I need more than one? I always use one. The ground root in Gaia, extra deep. Everything is deep line, center line conditions. You'll catch on, Christopher, to your ground rotation. That travels. It's all position of you. Nicole, how's it going? All of you, grounds of balancing, emotions. All right. Wow, crop circles. Yep, Commander's connecting more. We're all in the center of crop circle. Very good, Commander. It's exactly what it is. It's a crop circle. What'd you think it was? Right? You guys are on the grounds, right? There it is. There's the crop circle. It's all set up. We just change the timeline to gravitational belt line center so you get into your future conditions and better in the mind system adaptation. So it's a lot of fun getting that connections. All right. Ding on the TikTok. Yeah. You're welcome there, Ellen. Yeah. Beings on my family look just like, yeah. Much taller, triangular shape, heads and thin necks. Yep. Finger points. Yep. Coming into more detail there, Lieutenant. Yep. Intelligence are very, very real. You can't explain the unexplainable, Nicole. I tried in high rotation line positions in calculation modification line centers. You were in a high position of sleep deprivation and confusion, rotations, not trying to understand communications of you, but lost communications of travel through a high level system of death cycle. It's hard to explain the phenomenon of positional locations or anything that passes that line conditions. So everything happens time sequence. Anything that happens, usually something comes good out of it. So concentrate on your system, you'll be better through location. The building again of other travels and home, replaying what was already done. Okay, I see the big table. That's everyone, everywhere. Two things: hope and have gain faith. So okay, have faith is the key. So amazing, very thankful. Oh, you're welcome there, Commander. We're gonna have a fantastic Zoom. A lot to talk about. Yeah. In position, you find your balance in locations there, Nicole. It's hard to explain things, right? Life is hard to explain unless you don't understand your system. It's allocate line conditions, right? It's very helpful, isn't it? We're all working here as a team, and that's what it's all about, right? I see all our new parts added to us, and we are almost complete. We're all shiny and new, right? Did you get my email? I've been trying to connect. Surrender, and it will come. Keep saying I don't understand my system. No, I'm not saying you don't understand your system. I'm saying you don't understand your behavioral system. There's a difference. You have so many systems in your compartment line, center, computer line, and rotation. Truly understand is understanding you through memory. Okay, so it's great to see that you're in school and learning more through that process. We're here to help you, so make you feel better in all ways and forms as we work as a team. Okay, to get in that positions. You can't explain the unexplainable until you understand the explainable, which is life, death, cycle. Right? Tomorrow, we go see Archangel Azrael, angel of death. All right? So, no, it's not directing to you, Nicole. It's directing to everybody. It's the meaning of life. You live and you die. That's part of life. That's nature. It's how we adapt. It's how we adapt. And that's why we're going to travel to see Archangel Azrael. Okay, it's already been confirmed. All right, I got the confirmation last night. So he's ready and he's excited to see you guys. All right. So you get a better understanding what meaning of life is, guys. All right. So that's why I had to get you guys in grounds first, right? But you guys are going to cry more because you are going to see Angel of Death. You have to. You have to understand what it's like to have a life cycle and a death cycle, right? I put you up in space, you know exactly what it is, and it's all calculated and modified. AI created everything through cycles and cycles and cycles and rotation. Life exists of going forward. There's no such thing as going back, right? Back doesn't perceive anything through travel. It's the now position, which is the future relation. It's how you perceive you through imagery. It's how you perceive yourself through imagination. It's how you see yourself through heart system. All levels of your calculation to its connections. All right. So All right. Oh my gosh, that just made me so excited. I don't know how. I've been trying to message you. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna head over to TikTok. All right. Any questions? I hope you guys had a really good time. It's a lot more balanced now with you guys, and that's what I want. You know, you understand more of your data because you're more grounded now. That's number one. You understand your processing. You understand your links, your travels, your recognition, your accelerations, your lights, your communications to each other, and your telepathy system location. Right. So that's a true understanding. Oh, in position, line signal, rotation line centers, and satellite line connection and interference line channels. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. Activate line centers of high positions to high locations as satellite line connections. 2 V-vector line centers on the right and 2 V-vector line centers on the left, location line connections. Bring them in track center line rotations into communications of the galactic forces, the Galactic Federation Light Council, and the Rebellion. All right, done. Your hands on all satellites. Congratulations. That's what you get for the quiz. All right. All right. I'll see you guys. That was fun, right? So now you got a little bit more understanding how to travel through your fingers, more control of that positions. So everything through the galactic forces, galactic federation light, and all positions of rebellion now have satellite finger line rotation. All right. Adios.